Hi, everyone. I'm Dr. Wendy O'Connor. Thanks for joining me today. It's Tuesday, February 13th, and we are talking about building resilience. So feel free to chime in as you have any questions or comments along the way, but today will be a pretty brief conversation around what it means to have resilience and how to strengthen your resilience. So the first question is always, what is it? What is resilience? How do we define it? And the way that we look at resilience is the ability to bounce back in the face of adversity or stress or hardship or life's challenges. Now, we can't stop the stressors. We can't stop the challenges from coming our way. It's just how life goes. But what we do have control over is how we cope or react. And resilience is really speaking to our ability to bounce back or to get up in the saddle again after we go through something that's challenging or difficult for us. The good news is with resilience is that it's learned. It's not something you're born with or without. So you can build on it or strengthen it, work on it any time in your life that you want to. And I often have patients coming in to work on this specifically because they're having a difficult time coping with life's hardships. It's really challenging to go through loss or certain life transitions or particular stressors in the workplace or in our personal lives. And so much of our difficulty doesn't come from the actual situation or event, but more so the meaning that we attach to that event and the way that we interpret and cope with it. So if you choose to work on your resilience, you're going to allow yourself a better opportunity to cope with hardship in an easier way. There are several factors that contribute to resilience, and some of them include things like being part of supporting and loving relationships. Feeling connected to other people tends to help us feel much more resilient, especially if those relationships are built on love and trust. Having a positive view of yourself, how you see yourself, having confidence in yourself, also will allow you to believe that you can overcome these challenges in life, hence strengthening resilience. Being able to make realistic goals and plans for yourself and then following through on those builds resilience as well. And I think that often goes hand in hand with the confidence piece, because if you're able to set realistic plans or goals for yourself and then actually follow through to completion, you now taught yourself that you can actually handle something, especially if that goal or that plan involved any obstacles, which often they do. And lastly, your ability to manage strong emotions and impulses. So how you cope with those feelings in your daily life, especially following something that's stressful or difficult, is really a key factor in determining how resilient you are. If you can go through a difficult confrontation, or you can be laid off from a job, or you can experience some type of loss and still say to yourself, all right, I'm really upset, but I have a pretty good grasp on how to cope with sadness or how to cope with anger in adaptive ways, not in ways that are going to cause additional problems for me, you're pretty resilient. There are several things that we actually can do to build resilience. And these are things that you can work on your own at home in your daily life. Or of course, you can come in and work with a professional on this. Seeing a life coach or seeing a therapist will allow you to learn additional strategies and tools to really become and feel like your best self. So we'll talk about 5 of those steps today. And there are more than that, of course. But these 5, I think, really get at the heart of building and strengthening that resilience muscle. The first is building close relationships. So back to the idea that receiving support and accepting support and even giving support in loving, healthy, trusting relationships will allow you to build that resilience and allow you to believe that you can overcome hardship. You'll have the support of people around you to help you through it. The second is to work on your confidence. Now, this is something that I work on every day with patients is, how do I see myself in a more positive light, or how do I be less gentle with, or less hard on myself? And the reality is, confidence is really built from self-acceptance and self-compassion. And so if you're able to work with somebody on building a stronger relationship with yourself in terms of being more compassionate, being gentle, learning how to accept yourself, you'll be able to boost your confidence. And when you boost your confidence and your ability to overcome hardship, you'll strengthen your resilience. The third one is to be mindful of your perspective. So again, like I said in the beginning, so much in our life has to do with not exactly what the obstacle is or the hardship or challenge is, but how we interpret it, how we respond to it, how we cope with it. Do we cope in an adaptive way, in a healthy way, or a maladaptive way, a potentially harmful way? If you're able to identify what the meaning is that you attach to the situation that took place and the way that you're interpreting that situation, you'll be able to go into your thought process and tweak it a little bit so that you can see a more reality-based viewpoint. So one way that I explain this to patients is you're going through a difficult time, and maybe it's something that actually feels quite scary to you. Is it actually as bad as you think? So is it a bunny that you approach in the woods, or is it a bear? And oftentimes we think that what we're seeing or what we're experiencing is a bear, when in reality, it's actually a bunny, or maybe a fox. It's something much less threatening than we initially interpret it as. So going into your thought process, asking yourself how you're seeing this event or stressor in your life, and working on ways to look at it a little bit differently, maybe less catastrophically, maybe more reality-based, will allow you to shift that perspective and then also build your resilience. The fourth one is to make sure you're engaging in realistic goal setting. So again, like I said in the beginning, one of the factors that contributes to resilience is being able to follow through on what you set out to accomplish. If you're not setting goals that are realistic for you and that are not attainable for you at this stage, you're only setting yourself up for failure. And when we fail, sometimes if we're not very resilient, we have a hard time getting back up. So make sure that when you're setting goals for yourself and creating plans for yourself, that they are realistic for you, they are attainable, they are in bite-sized pieces, that you go slow and steady. And going slow and steady and overcoming obstacles and actually following through on those smaller goals will give you the confidence and the boost that you need to stay at it and to go for harder, more challenging goals in the future. And lastly, self-care. Now, this is a topic that we talk so much about in therapy and in coaching, is how to take care of yourself. And now I don't mean going to the spa every week. What I really mean is some of the fundamentals of our physical wellness, like sleep and nutrition and exercise. Are you really taking care of the fundamentals of your physical wellness? That's going to go a long way in how your hormones are regulated, how you see the world, your levels of stress and anxiety and how you interpret those. But then also the emotional aspect of wellness. So are you taking care of your emotions? Are you identifying how you feel on a regular basis? Are you tuned in to how you emotionally feel and how you emotionally experience the world? The more tuned in we are with how we feel, the better equipped we feel to be able to cope with those emotions. So physical wellness, emotional wellness are the examples of self-care that I want you to think about when it comes to building resilience. So if there are no questions today, that is all that I really wanted to go over with everybody. But the real main take-home points are resilience is something you can work on in your life at any time. You can make changes in how you interpret your situation. You can make changes in your level of support. You can make changes in your personal confidence in who you are. And all of these things will build and strengthen that muscle for you. So you no longer feel as though you can't cope with something or that strong negative emotions are scary. You'll get to a place where you believe, I can handle that. Maybe I've been through worse before, but I can actually handle that. I have the tools and strategies to overcome. So I hope you all have a wonderful day. And if you want to touch base with me, I will put my contact information here and my website information. So you're welcome to reach out anytime and ask me additional questions about this Facebook Live event or any of the others that I've held so far, or to schedule a session. Just give me a call or send me an email. I'll be here every Tuesday at 12 o'clock, and I will also post, and I have posted some of the upcoming topics, but I'll continue to do that as well. So tune in every Tuesday at 12, and take care.